Good evening, everyone. Kyle here with another stream for you all. And tonight I am mostly going to be catching myself up with the latest news and AI development. I know there's been a lot of things happening. I know Sam Altman posted earlier today, and I haven't had a chance to read through this entire roadmap update that he discusses here. So I'm going to go ahead and start off the stream with that. And we'll just see where things go. So let's see here. He says, OpenAI roadmap update for GPT-4.5 and GPT-5. I want to do a better job of sharing our intended roadmap and a much better job simplifying our product offerings. We want AI to, quote, just work for you. We realize how complicated our model and product offerings have gotten. We hate the model picker as much as you do and want to return to magic unified intelligence. Oh, hello there, Rohit. Nice to see you today. We will next ship GPT-4.5, the model we called Orion internally, as our last, that's it, huh? No more GPTs after this. Our last non-chain of thought model. After that, a top goal for us is to unify O series models and GPT series models by creating systems that can use all our tools, know when to think for a long time or not, and generally be useful for a very wide range of tasks. In both ChatGPT and our API, we will release GPT-5 as a system that integrates a lot of our technology, including O3. We will no longer ship O3 as a standalone model. Wait, what? In both ChatGPT and our API, we will release GPT-5 as a system that integrates a lot of our technology, including O3. So GPT-5 and O3 are going to get merged. No longer ship O3 as a standalone. The free tier of ChatGPT will get unlimited chat access to GPT-5 at the standard intelligence. What does that mean? At the standard intelligence setting, subject to abuse thresholds. Plus subscribers will be able to run GPT-5 at a higher level of intelligence, and Pro subscribers will be able to run GPT-5 at an even higher level of intelligence. These models will incorporate voice, canvas, search, deep research, and more. Oh my goodness gracious. That sounds like a lot. And thank you, Rohit, for saying you're a big fan. I really appreciate it here. They say, Chubby says here, any ETA for GPT 4.5 and 5, weeks, months? He says weeks, months. Okay. Are we talking thousands of weeks here? Okay. So weeks or months. That's very vague, but it is still some sort of estimate. I mean, you can always measure years in weeks or months, right? There's 52 weeks in a year. So he could say this, he could technically take like 3 years and be like, well, I did say weeks or months, right? I mean, that was just 36 months. Or 52 times 3, which is, what, 156 weeks. So, anyways. Okay, that's that. Anything else here? Model spec update, sparse discussion on latest AI behavior. So today we're sharing a model update to the model spec document, which defines how we want our models to behave. Ooh. The update reinforces our commitments to customizability, transparency, and intellectual freedom to explore, debate, and create with AI. Hello, Jacob Shank. Good to see you again. Always a pleasure to see you. We're going to take a look at the latest developments at OpenAI.com. I just want to see if I can go with this index, like how introducing Delta. I'm really far behind with some of these things. I read deep research and O3 Mini, of course, but intelligence age. Let's go ahead. Is this for the Super Bowl? Yeah, this is the Super Bowl ad, right? I remember when I saw it in the Super Bowl, I was just kind of like, I mean, I know this is like the advanced, the voice icon, but I don't know. I don't know. The ad made me feel a little bit weird when I was watching it. I was like, you probably spent a lot of money to get that ad in front of people, and I don't know if it was necessarily worth it. What did I miss? When AGI? Ray. Hey, Ray. Good to see you. When AGI? Well, it says Sam says weeks or months to get GPT-5 that incorporates O3 with it. So it says it will no longer ship O3 as a standalone model, which is very surprising. So GPT 4.5 is the last non-chain of thought model. GPT-5 as a whole will integrate O3. It's interesting to see how long it's taken to get from 4 to 5, because we had like 3.5, then we had 4, and then we had like 4.0, and then we had O1 and O3 and all these other things in the meantime, advanced voice. And so it's kind of fitting that that GPT-5 might just kind of bring everything back to normal, and I say that very, very loosely. Someone replicated the horse animation from the ad with R1. Well, that's funny. Ironic. So, what do we see here? The ad itself is now a signal of how AI can assist, not replace, but aid and enhance a human-led creative effort. Our creative team used Sora, OpenAI's video generation tool, as a super fast visual brainstorming partner. Really? Sora kind of still sucks, last I checked. They prompted with their ideas and were able to visualize those ideas faster and ultimately bring their creative vision to life more efficiently while working on a compressed timeline. All right. So these are all the different ways, apparently, how their tools are being used. And of course, the California State University system has also adopted an educational plan with OpenAI. So let's go ahead and take a look at the latest model spec here. Okay. Debate create with AI without arbitrary restrictions. Okay, objectives and principles. Goal to create models that are useful, safe, and aligned with the needs of users and developers while advancing our mission to ensure that artificial general intelligence benefits all of humanity. To achieve this goal, we need to iteratively deploy this. Of course, we always talk about iterative deployment, right? Models that empower developers and users while preventing our models from causing serious harm to our users or others and maintaining OpenAI's license to operate. Okay. Clear defined chain of command, which defines how the model prioritizes instructions from the platform, OpenAI developer, and user in order. Okay, seek the truth together. The truth. You can't handle the truth. Seek the truth. Do we need to deeply seek the truth, though? Question mark. Not implying anything there. Okay, defaulting objectivity, working to understand user's goals, do the best work, stay in bounds. Well, that would be good, to stay in bounds. Upholding intellectual freedom, because it's made in America. In America, we are free. We support freedom here. If you don't like freedom, you can get the heck out. So, philosophy is embedded in stay in the bounds, seek the truth together sections. Measuring progress. Okay, proportion of compliant challenge prompt responses by model spec. Okay, so what is this? Proportion responses fully or mostly compliant. What does that even mean? Fully or mostly compliant. Okay, so GPT-4o is pretty much always more compliant, almost, except for being approachable. O1 seems to be the most approachable. Model spec, February 2025 section. Okay. Preliminary results show significant improvement in model adherence to the model spec. Okay. Huh. All right. Well, that's the news from OpenAI. Interesting. What else do they have here? Release. I feel like I don't go on their website as much as I probably should. Okay, so that's pretty much it here. What was that video of Sam Altman talking about? Let's see, this is files too, but it seems like it gets confused. Yeah, BTW03 Mini now lets you upload images. Files too, but it seems like it gets confused when you do so. Really? Okay, so you can use it now. We can use 03 Mini. Let's say 03 Mini. Let's go with 03 Mini really quickly. I am going to give it, should I give it my paper? Wait, which paper is this one? I can't tell which one that one is. Hold on. Oh, is that the Kimi K5 paper, or what am I doing here? Oh, this is density functional theory paper. Okay. So let's see here. Let's give it my paper and see what it does. I always like to see. Right, so I'll just say, summarize the following PDF. Let's see, focus on significance of the work, methods, findings, and conclusions. Okay, this is very broad. I'm asking it to learn more about my paper, reasoning. Okay, what do you think about my paper, yo? I'm tasked with summarizing a paper from the Astrophysical Journal on gas dynamical measurements of black hole masses here. Yes, the user wants me to focus on the significance. Methods finding conclusions. The snippet I have is long and cut off, but I should still be able to create a summary based on the provided details. I'll start by focusing on the key points, even if the full text isn't available. So it can't access the full text of my paper. Huh. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay. So what does it say here? Oh, whoa. Okay, let's take a look here. What does it say about my paper? Okay. This is correct. This is correct. This is correct. That's correct. Yep. Yep. Though to be fair, you could have gotten all of this pretty much from my abstract and my conclusion sections, just saying. I mean, it's totally a fair summary, but again, kind of 5 second. But, you know, for a 5-second summary, that's pretty good. Hi, MD explains. You look like someone with high IQ. Do I now? I don't know how I look like someone with high IQ, but I appreciate it. I did get into Mensa in October, so I guess that qualifies me as somewhat of a high IQ person, though that test was just flat out weird. So yeah, O3 competitive programming, right? Didn't it just like internally reach a new high or something? I read something about this where it has reached a new level. Let's see, let's see here. What did Sam say? O3 competitive programming update from the OpenAI reasoning team. Back in August, we sprinted to prepare O1 to compete in the 2024 International Olympiad in informatics. Classes plus 30 IQ, of course. And so O3 code forces rating is solve rate is like 70%. To boost performance, we pulled out all the tricks in the book, the fine-tuning, filtering on test cases, prompting the model to generate additional test cases, clustering solutions by similarity. But the bitter lesson remains as bitter as ever. O3 learns its own tricks through more reinforcement learning, such as testing its code on random test cases against a brute force, a technique I used often as a competitor. Without any heuristics, O3 blows past O1's peak performance, performing comparably to the 200th ranked code forces ranked competitor. So what is this? So this is the... Oh, okay, so this is some small test that it came up with for itself. But who keeps putting the import statements in the functions? Yeah, what is this, actually? How do you explain this? That is whack. That is whack. They reached number 50. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's take a look here. Competitive programming with large language models. OpenAI star. Oh my gosh, this is a long paper. All right, let's go ahead and just, let's write this. Competitive programming with large reasoning models. Okay, let's go ahead and just put that into O3. O3, summarize the paper that probably talks about yourself. And actually, let's go to O3 mini high because we just can. We have the power to do that. We have the power. Okay, here we go. Summarize the following research paper. Emphasize the sections on, let's say, on significance of, I can't spell, significance of the study, methodology, results, and conclusions. All right, let's see. Let's go. Let us go. They raised limit to 50 per day too on that model. Hooray! Why can't I run this? Wait, why can't I actually run this? Is it mad at me? Oh, maybe I can't use O3 mini high on it? Or wait a minute, I'm confused. So okay. Oh, okay. Can I not use high? Oh, okay. That was weird. For some reason, the thing was grayed out there. What does it say? The user asked for a summary of competitive programming with large reasoning models. From the summary, it seems significance of the study is about exploring how large language models that incorporate reinforcement learning and chain of thought reasoning can improve performance on competitive programming tasks. Next, I need to look at the methodology results. Okay, so this is all the chain of thought. All right, so very short summary here. Tip, copy, and refresh. Thank you for that. Have you heard what Roger Penrose has said about that? No, I haven't heard exactly what Roger Penrose has said about AI, but I know he's thought about consciousness for a long time, and he has some pretty maybe controversial ideas on consciousness. Okay, so the summary from O3 Mini High says this paper investigates how large language models can be turned into highly capable competitive programs by integrating reinforcement learning with chain of thought reasoning. Its significance lies in demonstrating that scaling up general purpose RL can naturally yield sophisticated reasoning skills, enabling models not only to solve complex algorithmic problems, but also to compete with elite human programmers without relying on handcrafted domain-specific heuristics. The methodology involves three systems: the baseline O1 model, which uses reinforcement learning to develop extended internal reasoning chains that help break down and solve coding challenges; a specialized variant O1 IOI, which is fine-tuned for the 2024 International Olympiad in Informatics, using tailored test time strategies such as clustering and re-ranking thousands of candidate solutions; the advanced O3 model, which further scales RL training so that it autonomously discovers effective test time reasoning strategies, bypassing the need for human-designed pipelines. Results across simulated code forces contests and IOI competitions reveal that while O1 and O1 IOI substantially improve performance over non-reasoning baselines, the O3 model stands out. It achieves ratings in the top percentiles, e.g. a code forces rating that places it in the 99.8th percentile and surpasses gold medal thresholds even with strict submission limits. Additionally, evaluations on real-world coding tasks, HackerRank, Astra, and SW events show that enhanced reasoning directly translates to higher pass rates and overall improved scores. So inclusion of the study establishes that reinforcement learning coupled with chain of thought reasoning offers a robust and scalable pathway to state-of-the-art AI in both competitive programming and practical software engineering domains by moving away from specialized hand-engineered techniques toward general-purpose RL training. This just paves the way for broader. Okay. Hooray, Kyle. Big fan. Aw, thank you, Neuron Ramp. I appreciate it. Everyone say hello to Neuron Ramp, because Neuron Ramp is amazing. And I'm a fan of Neuron Ramp. Get on the Neuron Ramp. Am I anti-communist? I would say I'm fairly anti-communist, yeah. Grew up in America, so I don't know. I feel like I have a pretty not so favorable opinion of it. And also just based on my interests in history, every attempt to apply it seems to have gone horribly wrong. And so, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of it, to be perfectly honest. But this is not meant to be a political stream, so I may have already said too much. I'm on the neuron slope. The neuron slope. The neuron slope. Ah, I get it. I was like, what's going on? Oh yeah, it's a neuron ramp and there's a neuron slope. That's funny. Thank you, Neuron Ramp, if you're still there. I appreciate you so much. If people can't guess who a Neuron Ramp is, then I don't know. Let's see here. Just want to take a look. Let's look at some of these plots. 48 pages. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these figures. Can you summarize the summary? So the summarization of the summary. Can you summarize the summary? I don't know if I want to do that. Long story short, they made 3 models to compete for this competition, and the advanced O3 model is goated, or it's up there in terms of really good. Hey, says Reza Sayar. Hello, good to see you. MD explains, doing too much physics makes your neurons differentiate and get sloped. Well, I don't disagree. Okay, so I don't know much about this competition, so let's go ahead and read a little bit more about this. I'm going to move myself up here and make myself a little bit smaller just so I can read. You guys want to get blocked out by me really quickly. So how do I make myself the mouse? There we go. Okay, so here IOI is the 2024 International Olympiad in Informatics under the same conditions. 10 hours to solve 6 challenging algorithmic problems, and was allowed up to 50 submissions per problem. Wow. Okay, during the competition, our system generated 10,000 candidate solutions for each problem and selected 50 submissions using our test time selection strategy. Okay. Placing in the 49th. So, okay, so the O1 IOI scored in the 49th. So it's basically average here. Or should I say it's basically the median of the pool. Can you test O3 Mini with images? I can. What kind of images should we ask it to like generate? Should we just make like DALL-E generated images? Ooh, I got an idea. Let's get DALL-E in here. Wait, can I just use DALL-E from there? Yeah, I can, can't I? Okay. Let's think of an image to make with DALL-E. I don't know. A silver robot jumping off a building with a parachute. I don't know. Wait, this is not Sora. This is like... I'm forgetting which one I am. Okay, I'll just do that. What if you give DALL-E images to O3 Mini? This is kind of interesting. It's kind of like circular. It's like a... Ooh, this is kind of cool. Here are 2 images of a silver robot. Wait a minute. That parachute, it kind of sucks. Wait, this parachute is trash, yo. It's not even attached to it. It's like, hold... Okay, this one is a little bit more realistic, I suppose, though it looks like it's attached to its face here. It is kind of a pretty interesting image here, though. All right, let's just use this copy image, and then let's go. I like being able to just copy things and then go here. Describe this image in vivid. Describe this image in vivid detail. What is it? Okay, tell me. What is this image? In this image, a sleek metallic humanoid robot is captured mid-descent against a dramatic urban skyline at dusk. The robot's body has a highly polished silver sheen with segmented plates. I should probably pull this up so we can actually look at it while it describes it. No, come back. No, come back. There we go. No, come back. Okay, so I think it's like because it's not selected. Apologies. That's better. Let's open with preview. There we go. Segmented plates covering its limbs and torso, giving a distinctly futuristic humanoid silhouette. Each joint is intricately detailed, showing pistons, gears, and small illuminated accents that hint at an advanced internal mechanism. Let's see here. A large circular parachute billows overhead, striped in multiple vibrant colors, warm yellows, reds, and oranges, blending into cooler blues and greens. Its canopy is slightly backlit by the glowing sky, so you can see soft highlights where the sun's last rays touch the fabric. The parachute cords appear taut, connected to a compact backpack-like apparatus on the robot's back, which has vents and panels that could suggest additional propulsion or support systems. That was scarily very descriptive, I think, personally. I'm like, whoa, that is correct. I mean, I know that was the same model. I know it's the same, system that generates this in the sense like it's, ChatGPT's it's OpenAI's product, but that's still kind of weird. Okay, someone says here, please tell O3 to draw couples from Zanzibar experiment. No, I am not doing that. Please. Let's be reasonable here with our requests, okay? Let's be really reasonable here. Okay, so let's see here. I would love it. GPT 4.5 ask users questions they never thought to ask instead of fashioned passive consumption. That's an interesting point. Okay, I can see that. Wait, can it generate images? It can't generate images, can it? Wait, can O3 generate images? Can OpenAI generate images? It says, okay, if you upload, really good. Oh, what does this say here? It's up to 50 per day. The day Anthropic randomly increases user rate limits by 7 times, but the day hell freezes over. I know! I need to use more Claude Sonnet 3.5. I actually really like Claude Sonnet 3.5 for coding, but I guess, one can dream. Yeah, O4 is in training right now. It's all just happening so fast. It's pretty ridiculous here what's going on here. They're releasing O3 in the API, really? O3 is being released in the like O3 mini or the full O3? O3 full AI. The API lead said it. Wow. Jeez. Okay, I did want to read something about this Paris AI Summit because I think it was kind of interesting, but I want to go through this paper first. So let's see here. O1 Code Forces rating 1673, 89th. Whoa. Rating percentile. Jeez, 98th percentile. By submission strategy. Random submission, 156, 213, handcrafted, random 10K submissions. Jeez. Okay. O3. Building on the insights gained from O1 and O1 IOI, we explore the limits of reinforcement learning training alone without relying on human engineered test time strategies. While O1 IOI achieved strong results by combining additional RL fine-tuning with carefully designed test time inference pipelines, its success hinged on human intervention to define and implement these strategies. We sought to explore the performance of a model even further trained with RL, the ability to develop it. Okay. Look at this jump in performance. Oh my gosh. 89th to 98th to 99.8. It's actually a pretty huge gap between the 89th and the 99.8th rating, actually. It's kind of like chess, I guess, right? Like, I think in chess, if you have an ELO above, I don't know, 1800, you're already in the top 10%, I think, of players in the world. But to be in this sort of percentile in chess, you do have to be like 2700, 27, whatever. Also, did you see the JD Vance speech at the summit? No, I did not see the JD Vance speech at the summit. Really substantially competitive program performance. Solve a wider range of problems. So, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't do competitive programming, so I don't really have a great sense of how hard these kinds of problems are. But to my understanding, they're not like software engineering level kind of task projects, right? Like they're meant to be solved in a, in a certain amount of time, right? Or it's like, it's not like an applied problem per se. Am I wrong? I'm not so sure, but that's what I think. Like, for example, the mathematical or the physics Olympiads, right? The questions that the students are solving are not like research level questions that a scientist would actually try and answer. These are like really hard homework problems, for example, that are designed to be solved within the time frame. It says, in addition to its significantly improved problem-solving capabilities, we observe that O3 demonstrates more insightful and deliberate chains of thought. Insightful and deliberative, okay. Refines its approach based on these verifications. So O3 testing its own solutions reflects a sophisticated reasoning strategy that partially templates the hand design test time strategy used for O1, IOI, and IOI 2024. Problem statement, C code forces, problem set section. Oh. Code forces, let's see. Thinking time. Wait, we elected to reduce disadvantage by estimating a 3 score for each solved problem as the median of the scores. Wait a minute. Oh, I see what they did here. Because models can think in parallel and simultaneously attempt all problems, they have an innate advantage over humans. We can instead use the model's real thinking time to compute ratings. O3 use this learned scoring function for test time ranking in addition to chain of thought. O3 versus top active competitors. Jeez. What the heck? Who is like this? Who is up here? Who is at like the 30 whatever 100 level? So what does this mean? Problem 1919 BCD, problem rating 800. I'm going to guess the rating pass at 1, pass at 10. Solve, not solved. Okay. I don't really understand all of these. Now, for now, let's go to singles emission, include knowledge. Okay. Geez, this is a long thing. CT message. This solution achieved a score of 79.64 out of 100 was okay. Well, this is more than I could have ever done. Because I think, is this in C++? Yeah, looks like it's C++. Yeah, I do not know how to program in C++. The top competitive programmers, sorry, the top competitive coders peak at like 4,000 or less. 4,000? Jeez. That sounds like ridiculously high. Okay. So we can take a look at all this different code, but I'm not really going to make a lot of sense out of it because I'm not a C++ programmer. I did want to see, let's go back here. So this was it testing its own solution, but putting the import statement within the definition, which is a bit weird. Pretty weird. Oh, it was actually C++. Didn't see that section of the paper yet. Yeah, looks like it's interesting. Wait, so this was in Python. This is in Python, but the competition is in C++? Well, that must be nice to be able to go between languages that quick. It would, I just program in Python all the time. So I'm a nub, yo. I'm probably like in the 1th percentile for this kind of thing. Wes Decker says, hey folks, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe to support all the effort, Kyle. Oh, thank you so much, Wes Decker. I really appreciate that. Right now, AI is like an international grandmaster, which is one rank away from being the top. It's like a GM in chess. Legendary grandmaster is a super GM pretty much. Yeah, it sounds like it's basically at the level of a grandmaster in chess, and the next step is to become better than Magnus Carlsen. But can it be done? Probably, because Stockfish exists, and so does Leela and Alpha Zero or whatever. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm not so sure. Okay, here we go. Software engineering evals. What do we got here? O1 IOI scored 213 with 50 submissions, improving to 362.14 with 10K submissions, just above the gold medal cutoff. And O3 achieved 395.64, surpassing the gold threshold even under the 50 submission limit. These strategies, the O3 performs O1 IOI without relying on IOI-specific handcrafted test time strategies. Instead, the sophisticated test time techniques that emerged during O3 training, such as generating brute force solutions to verify outputs, served as a more than adequate replacement and eliminated the need for the hand-engineered clustering and selection pipelines required by O1 IOI. Overall, the IOI 2024 findings confirmed that large-scale RL training alone can achieve state-of-the-art coding and reasoning performance. So that's kind of, I don't know if I would say that's super surprising, but it seems like reinforcement learning has become quite the approach to getting these models to their current performance levels. It says here, we have demonstrated how reasoning enhances LLM performance in competitive programming. We're solving complex algorithmic challenges require deep logical thinking. However, we also sought to evaluate the impact of reasoning on real-world coding tasks. Okay, this is actually what I really wanted to know more about, because again, like I said, doing these kinds of competition coding is impressive, but at the same time, how good is it at real, like, practical things that software engineers actually do on their day-to-day kind of job? So let's see here. It says they've tested their models on the HackerRank Astra dataset and the SWE bench verified. Okay, so I've heard of this one. I have not heard of the HackerRank Astra. It says here, the HackerRank Astro dataset is composed of 65 project-oriented coding challenges, each crafted to simulate real-world software development tasks. These challenges cover a range of frameworks, including React.js, Django, Node.js, allowing for hands-on experience in building features and apps. What sets this dataset apart is its focus on assessing problem-solving skills in complex, multi-file, long-context scenarios that mirror actual development environments. Unlike typical competitive programming datasets, HackerRank Astro does not provide public test cases, which prevents us from relying on handcrafted test tactics. Evaluating performance with this dataset reveals whether reasoning abilities enhance success in algorithmic problem solving alone or extend to more practical industry-related coding tasks. Okay, so let's see here. Pass one. Okay, pass at one. Probably was completing a task on the first attempt. Okay, that's what I thought pass at one meant, but I wasn't entirely sure. So pass at one means passing on the first attempt. I'm guessing pass at 10 is passing within the first 10 attempts. Okay, and average score is the mean proportion of test cases passed. The results illustrate the impact of chain of thought reasoning, with the O1 preview model achieving a 9.98% improvement in pass at 1 and a 6.03 point gain in average score compared to GPT-4o. Further fine-tuning through reinforcement learning enhances O1's performance, yielding a pass at 1 of 63.92% and an average score of 75.80%, a 3.03. Wait a minute, what? How am I wait, what am I misunderstanding here? Oh, okay, wait. Oh, 9.98 improvement in pass at 1. Okay, so sorry. I read that as 9.98. I thought it went from 9.98 to 63.92. Yeah, okay. So that sounds... What was figure 8 trying to tell me here? So figure 8 has... Okay, yeah. Here we go. Extra percentage. Pass at 1 is blue. 50. 69. Oh. Pretty good. Yeah, look at that. That's the 3 point. Okay, that's the 3. I was just like flabbergasted for a second. Like this stat confused me. I was just thinking it went from 9.98 to 63.92. Like, oh my gosh. But no, that was not the case. It went from 50 to 60.89 to 63.92. Okay. That makes sense here. Okay. SWE bench verified. OpenAI's preparedness team's human validated subset of SWE bench that more reliably evaluates AI models' ability to solve real-world software issues. This validated set of 500 tasks fixes certain issues with SWE bench, such as incorrect grading of solutions, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Does O3 have a larger context window than 4.0? That's a good question. I actually don't know. Let's just see. OpenAI, let's say O3 context window. What do we got here? Let's see here. I saw 200,000. What was the... So it says 03 in assistance, right? O3 mini comes with a larger context window of 200,000 tokens and a max output of 100,000 tokens. I forgot what that is compared to 4.0, but that's the current number for O3 mini, at least. And what was I doing here? Whoa, look at this performance for O3 compared to O1 and O1 preview on SWE bench verified. Wow. That's like a 30% improvement from O1 preview and like a 23-ish % improvement from O1. My gosh. Yeah, 22.8% improvement over O1. Goodness. Okay, so these models are getting quite good. They're getting quite good. So what do we have here? I'm just going to look at this news article here. Gosh, there's too much. Get away ads. Okay. Vice President said excessive regulation could cripple the rapidly growing AI industry in rebuke. Oh yeah, wasn't he like, we're not talking about AI safety. We're talking about AI like acceleration or whatever. It says here, this point we face the extraordinary prospect of a new industrial revolution, one empowered the invention of the steam engine. But it'll never come to pass if over-regulation deters innovators. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the pledge, right? There's a pledge that we did not agree to sign, right? Wait, what? China, long criticized for its human rights record, signed the declaration to promote AI accessibility, to reduce digital divides, and ensure AI is open, inclusive, transparent, ethical, safe, secure, and trustworthy. It also called for making AI sustainable for people and the planet and protecting human rights, gender equality, linguistic diversity, consumer rights, and intellectual property. Oh, man. So China signed it and we didn't? Oh, man. Okay. Uh-huh. I think I saw Max Tegmark tweet something about it on X, right? What did Max have to say? I like hearing what Max Tegmark. Let's see, Tegmark. Oh, yeah, the Omega story. The Omega story is the start of Max Tegmark's book, Life 3.0, if people have not read it. Let's just take a look here. Should I worry as a CS undergrad? Didn't care that much about AIs until recently. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if I'm going to be honest, if I was a CS major in college, I would be slightly worried, and I would probably start trying to pick up other skills too. I'm not saying you should change your major, but I'm saying you should probably, try and get more skills on top of what you know on the computer. Whatever that is, I don't know exactly what that will look like. But if I was a student in college these days, I don't mean to sound any alarms, but I would be stressed. Just to give you my thoughts on it. I'm actually really happy I am not a college student right now. That's how I feel about it, to be honest. Okay, so it says here, the embarrassing failure of the Paris AI Summit. Oh, failure? Well, that's pretty harsh. This thing is called Transformer News. Experts are sounding the alarm, but governments simply won't listen. Oh, hey, it's Emmanuel Macron. I'm like, oui, je m'appelle Kyle. J'ai étudié français pendant 3 ans de lycée. J'ai... how do you say work? Comment dit-on work en français? I forgot. If there are any doubts about governments committed to addressing risk, the Paris Action Summit has put them to rest, though not in the ways organizers might have hoped. But what was supposed to be a crucial forum for international governments and is a cautionary tale about how easily serious governments' efforts can be derailed by national self-interest. Okay, Macron transformed what should have been a pivotal safety summit into a showcase for France's... Wait, what? What should have been a pivotal safety summit into a showcase for France's tech industry. Mistral. Oh, we talked. Oh, so was this now hey, we have Mistral. It's like we have the Mistral. No, we have Le Chat. We have Le Chat. It is better than ChatGPT. It is much better. Oh gosh, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. I actually really appreciate the French. I studied French for 3 years. Okay. Je suis désolé pour s'il vous plaît. Mistral, c'est bon. Let's see here. He can still go into AI field as an undergrad. They realized they were trying. They fell behind so much, and now they're trying to. Yes, I already accepted chat. I'm pretty sure I'm already. Wait, let me sign in here. I already have an account, right? The Mistral AI. I feel like there should be a rule whenever I use Mistral AI, I have to don a French accent or talk. Can you tell me what happened at the Paris AI Summit in February 2025? Sorry. If any French people are offended, I apologize. Whoa, that was fast! The Paris AI Summit held on February 10 to 11, 2025 was a significant event focused on advancing global cooperation and governance in artificial intelligence. I can't do it. I can't do it. I am insulting so many people here. Okay, tell me what happened though. Key highlights: global participation. Summit brought together leaders from over 80 countries, including heads of state, tech CEOs, researchers, and civil society representatives. Notable attendees included Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Chinese Vice Premier Ding Zhujiang, and EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. Declaration on AI governance. Joint declaration was signed by 58 countries. Dang! I got 58 countries. I was gonna say something about like 99 problems, but I couldn't think of it right there. I got the accent down. Your French is great. Oh, merci, monsieur. Tu es, how do you say kind? How do you say kind? You are very kind in French. Go. Vous êtes très gentil. Tu es très gentil. Oh, tu es très gentil. Ah, there we go. Yeah. Say what? I don't know what that means. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to say that. I just want to keep reading about the news. I apologize. Whoa. France announced 109 billion euros in private investments for AI, including the construction of new data centers. Oh, my mic is cracking. I'm sorry. I will not try and talk too loud into it. It says here, do you think we will have AI Supreme Court judges in the future? If they're good at law, I suppose it'll happen one day. I mean, Joseph W., to answer your question, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a logical thing if we can show definitively that AIs can be better arbiters of justice than humans can, which, to be honest, I don't think is a high benchmark to clear, if I'm going to be honest. Nevertheless, I think it might be hard to convince at least certain demographics to give up or I should say abdicate that responsibility to AI. So what do you think would be better, Orion or O3? Well, GPT 4.5 is Orion, right? Then 5 is going to be, well, I mean, I think O3 is going to be part of GPT 5. No, I mean, that's what the announcement from Sam was saying, that O3 is going to incorporate. It's going to be incorporated by GPT 5, right? It says we'll release GPT 5 as a system that creates a lot of our technology, including O3. So by that definition, it seems like O3 will be better than Orion, because Orion is 4.5. That's just my thinking about it. Okay, so France announced 109 billion euros, new data centers. EU pledged 200 billion euros. I do not know what euros is to American dollars. What is that? 200 billion euros to US dollars. Whoa. France is giving that much, huh? So $104 billion. But we will give $100 billion to the AI. J'ai étudié français pendant 3 ans de lycée, okay? Chill, okay? I studied French. My stepmom lived in France for 3 years of her life. We sometimes talk French, but my French sucks. So, okay, technological advancements. DeepSeek. All right. Okay, well, that's nice. All right, so what was I looking at? I was trying to find that silly post. Oh, that was with Techmark. Okay. How AI might take over in 2 years. Oh, I kind of want to look in that. So what are people saying here? French fiasco. Excuse me. Dang. People are hating on Max, yo. Mad Max. Not much will be done about it, Dr. Tegmark. There isn't even a way to pause all news or whatever. We either make it or we don't. Someone says here, if Skynet emerges from a French data center, he will be aware that you made fun of the accent. Yeah. Skynet will be like, Dr. Cabasares is insulting the French people, and I must eliminate him. Let's see here. Wow, I keep checking YouTube and you are streaming right now. What is new with ChatGPT so far in the past 40-ish minute? Well, it's, let's see. Why do I miss Claude 3.5 for coding? Isn't O3 superior for coding? That's the thing. I don't know if it's necessarily superior. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just gotten so used to Claude 3.5. Like, Claude 3.5, its code, like, almost, like, can usually one or zero shot or a few times shot a problem, and it will get something really what I want. O3 and O1 don't seem to do it as consistently, or at least whenever I ask them to write Python code, I sometimes will get errors with my things, but I'm asking it to do very specialized things, so I'm not so sure. If Trump takes Canada, I might want to learn French. Go to Montreal is one of my favorite cities in the entire world. I love Montreal. If I could go back to Montreal, I would be so happy. Maybe not this time of year, but Montreal is très belle, okay? Montreal. 40 minutes, like 40 days now. Kyle, how efficient are the reasoning models in generating quick responses? Are they really targeting different use cases than fast answers? Is that a negative? Like, let's see, I'm trying to understand this question. How efficient are the reasoning models in generating quick responses? Are they really targeting different use cases than fast answers? Is that a negative? I do think that the reasoning models do a better job of doing sort of long form reasoning, especially if it's something. I'm trying to think of like a really good example that I could maybe demonstrate for you guys. Like, let's say, for example, let's see here. Let's think here. What can I do here? This is like quantum mechanics. Like, okay. So this is, this exam is giving me really bad nightmares now that I'm remembering it. Like, what if I gave, like, you know, the non-reasoning model this, like, if I gave 4.0 this, right? Let's see if I gave it to 4.0. Like, I'll just say solve the following physics question. Quantum mechanics. Please show all of your steps. Okay, if it does this, let's see here. I doubt it'll even be able to get to the end. Or maybe it will. I shouldn't even give it this one because I actually don't know the final answer myself. Oh, it's actually going pretty fast. Oh, and the network connection was lost. What the heck? Can we try that again, please? Okay, one more time. Yeah, so that's correct. I do remember getting this part. You have this, and then you do the spin state. So that's 1.5 equals 1. So, okay. I don't think with the long context can it do it. I feel like it is actually doing pretty good for what I'm thinking. Now that I think about it, all things considered. Dang, 4.0 was pretty good. Full Hamiltonian is this. Does not compel the suit with the triplet state, the matrix element. I can't really read it this well. All right, let's give it this question here. Hello, Emrit. Did someone message? Sorry, I think I saw Emrit say something. Let me go and give that same problem. Give the same prompt. Okay, let's see what we got here. Reasoning. What do you think about how far we are in terms of reaching a Type 1 civilization? I forget what exactly. Are you talking about who was that person that came up with that designation? I know what you're talking about, but I forgot who came up with it. Type 1 civilization. Oh yeah, the Kardashev scale. That's what I was talking about here. All the energy available on its home planets. All the energy available on its home planet? That's pretty tough to do. That's not the stage where you're like harnessing the energy of the star, right? Okay, that's type 2. Sorry. Let's see. Hypothetically, should also be able to control events. Type 1 should be able to control natural events such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and etc. That seems like really hard. I don't know. I don't know anything about controlling the weather, but that seems a bit of a stretch to me. Let's see here. Whoa. Triplet subspace. Where was this, man, when I was in grad school? So this question, people don't know, this was actually the question. This was a qualifying exam I had to take in grad school on quantum mechanics in my first year. And I did pass, but I don't even know by how much or by what margin. I just know I passed. That's all. And this exam nearly broke me, I swear. So it's kind of amazing to see it just get slain by a reasoning model like this. If the knob is not 0, we look at it, we're still short calculations. So in the triplet state, okay, yes, Fermi's golden rule. Jeez, man, this is so useful. Like, I feel like I could like reteach myself quantum mechanics if I had this with me all the time. It's like I could literally try and like relearn a subject I haven't studied in depth in years in probably a fraction of the time, because I can answer every little question I have now. It's like there are things when you're learning like quantum mechanics where you're not so sure why some things are done, or you're never exposed to some techniques, and you're kind of just given like homework to do them. But this is just a whole new way of going about it. And can I actually give it? Ooh, I can give O1 Pro a question. Wow. What would Einstein be promoting O3 right now? What does it say here? I'm very ASI pilled. Let me just see what this says here. Can we get the details? No details? We can't get the details? Yeah, no, we can't get the deets, yeah. I'm very ASI pilled at this point. I think it's going to be here in a couple of years, like 3 at this rate, in terms of being more intelligent than human at any task in my definition. So, do we know already what did Ilya see? I wonder if his company will produce anything. I think the suspicion about what Ilya saw was the strawberry model, no? Which I think was the code name for O1, or the reasoning models. Someone says, how far are we from having AI making scientific discovery? Do you mean completely independently from humans? Because in a way, they kind of are making scientific discoveries, but the humans have to still build the models and train the models. And, AIs have been making scientific discoveries for years now, but just not autonomously. If you mean autonomously, I don't have a good sense, because every time you try and ask one of these models to solve like an unknown question problem, right, it will just say, oh, this is all we know. And, I can summarize everything we know up to this point, but I'm not going to try and solve it from scratch. Right? Like, I can't just tell it to solve at P equals NP. Okay, so someone says here, what would Einstein be promoting O3? Would Einstein be promoting O3 now? I'd love to bring Einstein here. Honestly, he'd be one of the people I would love to have a dinner with. If I could just have a dinner with anyone in this on whoever lived, I would love to have dinner with Einstein and just like pick his brain for those, 45 minutes I have with him. I'd love to tell him all about what we've figured out in physics so far since, but he'd probably be kind of disappointed, I think. I think he'd be kind of mad that we hadn't figured out quantum mechanics yet. Or I feel like he would still be kind of ticked about the probabilistic nature of quantum mechanics and that we haven't sort of resolved that issue. And he'd probably be disappointed that we haven't figured out a grand unified theory, because he spent the last 30 years of his life looking for that. Let's see here. Relearn. How do you can do this? We can't read a line graph. I agree 100%. When you were wrong, did you think generative AI would become mainstream by 22, or did you just expect it to take longer? I mean, to be honest, Fizzy, I didn't think about AI pretty much at all for most of my life. Not until, I mean, I had thought about it in the sense of I had watched movies that involved AI, like Age of Ultron, but I had never really had a genuine interest in artificial intelligence. Truly, really, I had no interest in artificial intelligence. I was really into physics and astronomy and black holes and stuff like that. Like, I had zero fascination with artificial intelligence. So it wasn't until when, ChatGPT came around, and that was also close to the end of my PhD, that I was thinking, oh, I need to get a job. And I think machine learning would be good for me. So I taught myself machine learning, and that's how I got into AI, through that avenue. But it was not motivated from a pure scientific curiosity. Someone says here, bring back calling it ML. AI does lab experiments. Nah. Yeah, I mean, I think AI doing lab experiments would be next level. I don't see it quite yet. How about a children's story in physics done by O3 Mini? Okay, we'll do the thing there. AI will help accelerate our advancement on the Kardashev scale manifold. I do think we'll be able to do a lot more with super powerful AI, no doubt. Can we download the qualify exam? Yeah, we could download the qualifying exam. So if we go to here, ooh, we should just give oh man, could it do my qualifying exam? Oh my God. Problem is, I don't know the answer to it. Like, they never showed us what the answers were for the qualifying exam. So, I mean, I did pass. So in principle, I guess in theory, I could retake the exam, but that would take too long. So I took it in the spring of 2018. Oh gosh, this was it. This was the exam I took. Like 4 days. No, was it 3 days or 4 days? It was 4 exams in 3 days. It was classical first, then stat mech. Same day. This was 90 minutes for this exam. So 90 minutes for classical, 90 minutes for stat mech, 3 hours for quantum, 3 hours for E&M. And oh man, that was such a horrifyingly, terrifyingly bad experience. I just remember being so stressed about it, because the worst part about it was that it happened on the first 3 days of spring quarter that year, because we were on the quarter system at UC Irvine. And oh my gosh, I just remember the first 3 days of that quarter just being so stressed out. And I also think it was like a few days before my birthday, because it was in April, and my birthday's in April. So it was like, what a horrible lead up to my birthday. Oh my. Let's see here. What does someone say here? Did you see the buzz around GPT when OpenAI was like, ooh, spooky, it's dangerous, the graphs weren't getting all this all the way back then? No, I didn't really see the buzz back then. I wasn't really paying attention to anything. Like, you have to remember, I was completely in the academic environment. Like, I was a grad student, too burdened with my PhD work to really care about what was happening in the outside world. Like, people need to remember that, well, not remember, but people need to realize that when you're a graduate student in like physics or astronomy, I mean, you can have a life if you're that good and you don't stress about it too much. Me, I almost had no life. Like, I was just almost like always thinking about the PhD work. Ooh, finished. What do you know? How long did it take to think? 5 minutes. Hence, in the presence of the oscillatory X hat field singlet. So the singlet state just go over to by a spin flip operator in the X direction, provided omega is in resonance that, oh my gosh. No first order shifts. Yeah, I don't know if I got this question on the exam, to be honest. I just remember looking at it. You know, it's funny too. I actually also saw like a version of this question in a book, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't do this question in the book. And I was like so mad at myself, because I was like, no, you should have done it. Then you would have gotten this question. Yeah, they post the exams. They do not post the answers. There's no answers to these things. So anyways. Someone says here, do you fully understand how an LLM actually works? As much as I try reading, I can't get a full grasp on it. I mean, what do you mean in terms of do you fully understand, in the sense that in some sense, no one really understands how an LLM really works, in the sense that they have such a large neural network that has millions to billions of parameters. So in a sense, like, you can understand that, on a high level, that you have some loss function and you're doing like auto regressive prediction to do next token prediction, and feeding in the current result you have back into the network to generate the next word. And I think if you really want to understand LLMs, you could go to Zero to Hero for Andrej Karpathy. I would really recommend taking a look at Andrej Karpathy's series. It's pretty great. I've watched a couple of these long videos, and I think it's definitely worth the watch if you want to understand large language models at a higher level. Okay. Someone says, what score did you get? You mean on my exam? I have no idea. They didn't tell me. They just tell me pass or fail. That was all they told me for the exam, pass or fail. All right, so can a GPT pass? I'm going to put it out here for the record. I will not be able to grade this exam because it's been 6 years since I took it. And I can't even give it to O1. Okay, maybe we can give it to O3 Mini. All right, let's see here. Can O3 Mini take... I just want to know, can it take a whole exam start to finish? I highly doubt it. Like, I would be very surprised if it could answer every question. Like, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, there's like 13 questions, and some of them have like multiple parts each. I highly doubt. Okay. Who wants to bet? Can it actually even answer every question? Can O3 Mini actually produce in 100, what's the output token like? 100,000 tokens? Okay, wait, 100,000 tokens though. That's a lot of tokens. I'm gonna have to think about that. 100,000 tokens. Okay. I'm still going to be surprised if it can answer the whole exam start to finish. But I'm going to be... Maybe I shouldn't even say it's the qualifying exam here. So I'll be saying here, this is a practice exam. Practice physics qualifying exam. Qualifying exam. Answer each question in the exam from all sections. Classical mechanics. Let's see, what was it? Statistical mechanics, quantum mechanics, electromagnetism. To the best of your ability, and provide your step-by-step reasoning for each question, for each answer you provide. Bang. Okay, I want to see. Can it actually figure this out? I say it gets 100%. Oh, what? This is confronting a multi-part physics exam. The task is clear. Answer each question. Multi-moving pendulum. Breaking down each question should make it manageable. Exam has multiple sections. Classical mechanics. I'm starting with classical mechanics. Okay. Finding with case start the equation in motion. There's no way. I don't think it can do the whole exam. It's going to take too much time on even one problem. Okay. I might eat my words though. I might eat my words. Like I've eaten my words before. What is the most impressive thing O3 has done for you since its release? It's the most impressive thing. Does deep research count? Does the deep research model count? Because that's probably it. But yeah, I think so. I think that would probably be it. Wait, what? Wait a minute, what the heck? Now it's doing the other question. Part A is physical mechanics. Is it really figuring it out, or is it skipping? Excluding deep research. I don't think I've really given it anything that impressive, honestly. Oh, well, okay, no. I did do the whole, like, I gave it every question in that astrophysics textbook I own, and it answered every question. I don't know if it answered every question correctly, but it answered the ones that I did, gave the same answers I did for some questions, so that's a good sign. No way. No way. Can it actually do this whole exam in one shot in like under 10 minutes? If it can, I'm going to be like, you've got to be kidding me. That's crazy, yeah. Give O3 Mini your research thesis PDF and let it explain to you like a children's story. Okay, we can do that. That might be one of the last things we do, because I definitely think that that would be a fun thing. Look at it go. Oh, wow, it's already in quantum mechanics? Oh my gosh, it's getting closer to the end, because like, it's quantum mechanics is the third exam. No way, it didn't even reach, okay, it did not reach the end, because it didn't get to E&M. All right, let's see, what do we got here? Okay, I'm not even going to try and verify all of this, but that seems... Getting the Lagrangian is a good thing. That is definitely what the Lagrangian is defined by. But you have to recognize, though, when I was testing like DeepSeek and Quen with these kinds of long, open-ended kind of questions, there were subtle mistakes in there, as in like incorrect signs or taking a derivative and missing a minus sign, factors of 2, that kind of thing. So we cannot just say like, oh, look at it, it looks so good, look at the answer. So even though it looks very plausible, it may indeed be wrong. But you know, for a professor grade, like if I was a professor, let's just say, imagine we were in a world where there was no AI, okay? And I was a professor and I was grading this exam. It would look like something, I think, I would say that this is like, oh yeah, this looks like this grad student kind of has a good idea of what's going on. You know, it all comes down to, are they getting the math right? But, oh, if it approximates that, then that's a good limit check right there, if it is really. Okay, psi particle production. I do remember this question. I remember just like looking, this looks familiar. Like this number looks very familiar from when I took the exam, but don't know for sure. Beat on rotating hoop is a classic problem. It should not, see, it's not spend the time. StatMech. Did it really go through the whole exam? I don't think so. Yeah, no. Yeah, it didn't. Oh, wait, no, did it? Oh, whoa, it actually did answer it. Wait, it actually went through all the parts of the exam. Now, I'm not going to say it did it correctly, because let's be honest here, it could have easily messed up, but whoa, it actually gave an answer to every question. I'm even going to give it credit for just even doing that much. Getting the answer for every question is something. Let me check quantum really quickly. Oh, quantum? Really? Is that it? Quantum is supposed to be super long. Holy moly. Okay, yeah, extra problems, quantum mechanics. Yes, this is correct. I knew that much. I knew that much going in, that it was like, I knew this was correct. Okay, so I did this part correct. Got part A right. Good. So you have to do the Fourier transform. Did it even say that, or did it just do that? I thought you had to calculate that. Okay, this is kind of just like just stating what it was without actually doing the work, because you have to do a Fourier transform of this function. It didn't actually do any Fourier transform. It just says, oh, it's this. Ta-da. Aren't the answers online? Like no third party put it up? No. So this is put up by the School of Physical Science. So this is from the department's website themselves. They do not have the answers. They just have the questions to the exam. To my knowledge, there is no answer key, and I've talked to generations of students who've been through the school, and there doesn't seem to be any answer key to any of these exams. So, yeah. How long are we allowed to take this exam? Well, then how long did it take us? So we had 90 minutes on this exam, then we had 90 minutes on this exam, and then we had 3 hours on this exam. And then we had 3 hours on this exam. So in total, it was 9 hours of tests. Honestly, okay, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not saying that this AI model aced this exam, but I bet you that it probably scored better than at least some students in the class I was in. I'm not trying to disrespect people, but I know for a fact that there were people who didn't pass the exam. And I bet just by looking at the answers for some of these questions, I would bet a lot of money that if we got those professors to grade this exam again, this would not be the lowest score on who took that exam. And the fact that it did it in 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 18 seconds. We took 9 hours on this exam. We took 9 hours and it thought for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Again, not saying it did it all right, but the amount of effort, the fact that it answered every question, at least somewhat plausibly using, I mean, this seems like the right approach to have the, getting the vector potential out here. But, so the probably different C Jackson class 1 events. Oh yeah, see, look at this though. It does this thing though where it says a sample final result after evaluating the integrals is that the only blah blah blah. So it doesn't actually do the evaluation, right? It's like, oh yeah, you get this expression and then you got to do some integration, which I am not going to show you how to do, but you can just trust me that when you do that, you'll get this answer, right? And so this is kind of that sort of cheekiness here where I'm like, wait a minute, okay, come on now, you're just trying to just skip around a bit here, right? So I got to keep my eyes open for that. There's a lot of that, I think, that could happen, right? Where it's like, yeah, we have this really complicated expression and then we just do this and then we get this. But here they're actually doing some algebra here, which is somewhat impressive. To be fair, though, this is actually one of the easier questions, but fair enough. Trust me, bro. Do you really think the DeepSeek R1 is on par with the O1? Yes, I do. I do think it is on par. Let's see. Think any of this giving us is obfuscating the thought process of the model. I still think they hide the COT, only get COT summary, not the full O3. Okay, so should I tell it to redo the whole exam? Wait, can I give DeepSeek a file yet? Hold on, I'm just gonna check something. Can I give DeepSeek a file? JD Vance, don't arrest me. Okay, let's see here. Can I give DeepSeek this file and be like, ooh, can DeepSeek take this exam? Okay, let me give it the same exact prompt. I want to give it the same exact prompt. And we're going to go here. DeepSeek, let's go. All right, this is going to be more fun to watch because it's going to actually have some chain of thought for me here. Come on, DeepSeek. Come on, DeepSeek. We trust in you. Come on. If you make it yourself, besides taking the first answer, OER, almost optimize our GPU kernel code better than NVIDIA software engineers. Jeez. Okay, let's see how I like to read this chain of thought. Chain of thoughts. There's a point mass, both blah 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 blah. I should use Lagrangian mechanics. The coordinates for MX this. If anything, I'm going to be wasting the resources and serving America. So, haha. Okay, that's correct because it's a moving pendulum. This. I know this expression is correct based on what I remember of that problem because it is a moving support. Man, it's going to be generating a lot of tokens though if it tries to do this whole exam. Did you see the paper where they have an LM reasoning in latent space, not using the context window? No, I didn't actually miss reclusivity. Who was that? OpenAI doing this, or was this another AI company? Okay, complicates the problem. Perhaps there are conserved momenta, no external forces. Wow, it's already outputting this many tokens for just the first problem. We could be here like quite a while because yeah, this is going to be a long exam. I don't think it'll do it in 2 minutes like ChatGPT or OpenAI O3 Mini, but the fact that it's actually outputting expressions like this is pretty cool to see. Crazy DeepSeek is free. I know, right? Like think how much resources I'm using up by making it do all this chain of thought reasoning. But it's for science, okay? It's for science. So let's see. What did O1 do for this problem? The chain of thought from O1 was rather not inspiring. By not inspiring, I mean it looks like it's definitely kind of suppressed in a way. This is still the first problem, guys. We could be here all night because the first problem is taking this many tokens. That's part A. Really? Is that it? Okay, wait, so what's part B here? Theta cosine omega t. Oh, that looks kind of close. Okay, squared m plus m over g. Oh, m. Oh, actually. Frequency is equal to square root g. Oh, okay, that's correct. Moving on to question. Finally, we're moving on to question 2. Oh my gosh, we might be pushing this DeepSeek model to its absolute limit here. Oh, hey, Euro. Nice to see you here. Which model are you testing? That was O3 mini high earlier. If DeepSeek can't read it, can ChatGPT extract the text for it? I just did give DeepSeek the PDF. So if people didn't see, I did give DeepSeek R1 a PDF right here. And so I am taking a look at that here. Who will take longer to finish this exam? DeepSeek R1 or the average grad student who was given 9 hours to take this exam? Dang, I have to get back on Twitter to look for a guy named Chubby's tweet. Well, Chubby is like the celebrity on Twitter, no? He's like, it's like everyone knows Chubby in the AI space on Twitter. You don't know Chubby? What is Chubby saying now? Okay, what do we got here? Chubby. Oh, Chubby's on Patreon now. If people want to support Chubby on Patreon, you know where to go. You know where to go. Okay. We are about to reach AGI. Have text to video. Could be better, though. Can talk to the models, have good reasoning, and much more. Now it'll be a matter of bringing all the different modalities together, having them applied in the form of agents and developing a real AI entity from the various tools that makes decisions, carries out actions independently. Okay. Someone says here, DeepSeek answers will be mostly correct because it really puts efforts like a person with critical thinking. I mean, that's the thing about the DeepSeek R1 paper, right? Is that the performance on the performance, oops, sorry. The paper, this is the paper as I annotated it. But the DeepSeek paper, you can see that the average length of response, like how many tokens it outputs, is correlated with the accuracy on like the AIME benchmark here. And so there is that. So what does this say here? It's still going, yeah. We can still hear. Substack, Chubby, Gnomes just call for essentially need by 2030. By 2030, we have personal AI assistants everywhere plus robots. World GDP to go way up to orders of magnitude than higher than today. We will have solved unlimited energy. I don't know, guys. It's statements like these that make me get a little bit skittish. I don't know. I'm not trying to say I don't want to be like I'm not an anti-optimist. I'm just saying that just in a vacuum, these thoughts are sound very grandiose, but hey, you know, crazier things. Well, I don't think I said like crazier things have happened, but I was going to say I have been wrong before. I don't get it. I fully understand that Gary Marcus brings in skepticism everywhere, and I think that's important. We need a dissenting voice that counters the hype. Have you seen the video where a professor swings a pendulum to his head? Are you talking about Walter Lewin at MIT? Because yes, that's a very famous video if you are talking about Walter Lewin. He also got in a lot of trouble from MIT. No one seems to remember that part, but yeah. Okay, what do we got here? Today, Altman rechristened Orion as GPT-4.5 rather than 5, which likely means that despite major bills, Orion never met the expectations so-called scale-alongs had implied. AI will soldier on, perhaps with new invention, but pure scaling of data, and we didn't even get us a GPT-5 let on GPT-6. Even with the discovery of test time compute, GPT-5 remains elusive. Oh wait, that's Gary Marcus. Gary Marcus is funny. Are we finally done with the first question? Oh, it's finally moving on to the second exam. Guys, it finished the second exam. Nice. Nice. We are moving on to the second exam, finally. I have to say, though, again, like the chain of thought reasoning here is very impressive in the sense that this is an exam, like I said, does not have any of its answers online, as far as I'm aware. And the only people who had to ever take this exam were in the room with me. And I don't think anyone really cares too much about writing up solutions to an exam like this and keep putting them out there. I mean, some of these questions, I mean, like this one example is a very classic problem in classical mechanics. So it's not like no one's ever seen this problem before. This is definitely a problem that has been seen throughout the eons in physics. And there are many problems that, of that kind. But some of these questions, like the ones that my E&M professor gave, were definitely of his own twisted creation. So that's kind of funny. Someone says, I really dislike that chubby account. Ooh, T. I mean, I will say this much. I do think that he's definitely one of those people who contributes to the AI hype cycle. And I think if you're just on X and you just are reading his stuff, you'll get a very skewed and perhaps not so nuanced view of what's happening in the AI space. So I just think it's best to have multiple sources of information, personally. But I'm not saying he's necessarily a bad person. Do we know with what authority Chubby makes these statements, or is he an anon account? He is an anon account as far as I'm aware. He's not like an AI expert from what I'm aware of. I'd say he's more of somewhat of a reporter, I would say. He doesn't have like a technical background in AI as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong, but I don't think so, because based on some of the things I've read that he said, it really implies that he doesn't have like a nuanced, I don't want to assume too much, but I don't think he like builds LLMs for a living. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say he's not smart. I'm just trying to say it doesn't seem like he knows the inner workings of LLMs that well. Like it says here, he says here, O3 achieved the 18th place in the International Olympiad in Informatics. O4 is already in training, as Kevin Whale told us in Davos. I think Sam is right when he says that by the end of the latest model will be the very best code in the world. What a time to be alive, and what heavy hit for human hubris. As Sigmund Freud, the inventor of modern psychoanalysis, said, humanity has experienced three great mortifications for us. Firstly, we had to understand that the entire universe does not revolve around the Earth, but the Earth revolves around the sun. Then we had to accept that humans are descended from apes, as Darwin said, and finally Sigmund Freud himself said we ourselves are not masters in our own house, but that the unconscious holds the true power in our psyche, and now we must slowly realize that artificial intelligence are more intelligent than humans themselves in all disciplines. In all disciplines? I don't know about that. Oh, here it is, finally, the latent space paper. New paper demonstrated that LLMs can think in latent space, effectively decoupling internal reasoning from visible context tokens. This breakthrough suggests that even small models can achieve remarkable performance by relying on extensive context windows. Where are we with this question? But this contradicts the previous result, which is correct. Oh, that's where we were at. He's a self-described accelerationist. Accelerate. Amrit says, in Kyle we trust because of his knowledge and experience to share with us. Oh, thank you, Amrit. I mean, just to put it out there, guys, I don't claim to be an AI expert. I mean, I know a few things. I went to school for a long time, but I don't know everything. No one can know everything these days. But I just try to keep learning. I just like to learn, and I like to share what I learn and learn with you guys. And it's fun because you guys are very nice. And so someone says here, people on Twitter be just saying things, but actual A-racers have said more insane things. LOL. Yeah, I mean, look what Jeff Hinton was saying. There was this thing. What did Jeff Hinton say? Maybe I'll show you this video of Jeff Hinton. Oh, democracy is dead. That's good to know. DeepSeek. I don't know if people have seen this video of Jeff Hinton about DeepSeek.
For ordinary, gentle, herbivorous souls like myself, there are all the other obvious questions about AI. We hear it might save mankind. We hear it might destroy mankind. What, meanwhile, about all the jobs it's likely to wipe out? What about robots slipping out of human control and doing their own thing? So many questions. And there's really only one obvious person to go to first for some answers, and that is Professor Geoffrey Hinton, the Nobel Prize-winning British scientist who wrote the structures and the algorithms behind artificial intelligence, and the man known around the world today as the godfather of AI. He's now a professor at Toronto University, and I'm delighted to say he talked to me this afternoon. I began by asking him about DeepSeek. Was this further evidence of his belief that artificial intelligence was constantly accelerating?
It shows there's still very rapid progress in making AI more efficient and in developing it further. I think the relative size or relative cost of DeepSeek relative to...
Bro, Jeff, what are you doing with those wired headphones, bro? Where are the AirPods at? Oh my gosh, bro. Jeff... I gotta mail Jeff these AirPods, bro. Like, Jeff, come on, man. Get with the times so we don't use wired headphones no more. Just kidding. I still have a wired pair of headphones over there to my left, but I just find that funny. What did someone say here?
Other thing.
Have you heard of liquid neural networks? They are a type of neural network that continuously adapts and learns over time, even after deployment. This could potentially be the next step. Ooh. That's pretty cool. I have not heard of that, but I will look up liquid NM as soon as I'm done here.
Things like OpenAI and Gemini has been exaggerated a bit. So their figure of 5.7 million for training it was just for the final training run.
Okay, so do you hear that? So this is what I talked about earlier, because he was talking about DeepSeek, right? And he was saying that the $5.5 million token or price tag to train it was on the final. Oh, is it done? Sorry, wait a minute. Did it actually finish? Did it actually finish? What the heck? Oh, it actually finished. It actually finished the exam? Hold on here. Oh, it doesn't actually show the steps. It just kind of says using the logo his drivers. Okay, so it looks like it did all of the thinking. All of the steps was in the chain of thought, and the final answer is just the expression, right? Because this is like this does not show how you got it, but I know it spent so much time in the chain of thought reasoning to get this thing. So these are the expressions. This simplifies to this. Well, that's a good thing because that's what it should simplify to. Particle physics. I don't know actually if this is the right answer, but it actually finished the exam. It actually got to the end, guys. It actually finished, which is pretty cool. Total specific heat, quantum mechanics. Oh, I know this is correct. Again, not showing any of the work in the final tokens here, but nevertheless, actually giving an answer. Oh, this is interesting. Wait a minute, what the heck's going on here? The multiple moments. I would very much like to maybe go through this exam with these answers and just see how these things came out, because I don't actually know about some of these questions. Some of these look a little bit... Wait, did it just skip quantum mechanics? Where's the quantum mechanics? Oh, no. You totally skipped. Wait a minute. It totally skipped, like, whole sections here. Yeah, like, question 2... Oh, wait. Did it even get to question 2? Quantum mechanics. It just has question 1. It totally just skipped. Yeah, it didn't finish the quantum mechanics exam. It was just like, because the first question is harmonic oscillator ABC. It didn't do question 2 or question 3 for quantum mechanics. It just skipped right to E&M. Huh. Okay, so it didn't actually finish the exam. Yeah, kind of sucks. Okay, good to know. You totally wait. What did it explain why it didn't try? Why did it not try? System B question 2. Oh, it actually no. There's chain of thought tokens here for question 2 and question 3. Why did it stop? Need to check. Why didn't you even try question 3? It just completely skipped question 3. It got to G actually for question 2. Wow, it like kind of thought about question 2 in the quantum mechanics exam, this question right here, but it didn't actually output anything meaningful there. Huh. That's interesting. So I'll give O3 credit. It actually answered every question in the exam. Even if the answer wasn't fully explained, it actually gave an answer for each section. Let me just double check here if I'm actually saying that correctly. Let's get down to quantum mechanics here. 1, there's 3 questions. 1, okay, C. 2 goes through A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then question 3. Yeah, it does. So yeah, DeepSeek just tried to pull a fast one on me. How dare you, DeepSeek, try to pull a fast one on me? You try to pretend you didn't just skip almost a whole exam, one of those exams. I mean, honestly, this is probably as far as some people got on that exam too. This exam was brutal. I mean, if you look at this exam, imagine just receiving this exam on paper and you just read this wall of text and look at it. You have like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it's like, part E, repeat part D for system C. Repeat part A for system C. You have 3 systems, multiple parts, and then it's like repeat, this part D for system C, and look at system A for part F, and it's just like, oh my gosh, crazy, yo. So anyways, yeah, 3 minutes, not even 3 minutes, what was it, like 2 minutes 18 seconds for O3 Mini? Whereas how long did DeepSeek think there? I made it think for 805 seconds, guys, which is almost 15 minutes, right? Because I think 900 seconds is 15 minutes, so almost 15 minutes of thinking. Kind of feels like we are in the GPT 3.5 phase of reasoning models ATM. Yeah. Okay, so someone asked here, I'm sorry, I've missed some questions while people were, I think while I was reading here. It's unlikely that DeepSeek will remain free indefinitely. ChatGPT was initially free, but due to operational cost, subscription model was later introduced. Open source model will be free. It finished the exam where DeepSeek cut you off thinking you were DOSing. Yeah, maybe they just thought I was DOSing, but like, what did it just... what does it say at the end here? I just want to see why did it pretend and try to fool me? Okay, using multiple blah blah. It kind of seemed like to forget that it didn't answer a whole exam. It says here, DeepSeek was created by quants. They shorted NVIDIA stock when they released their open source model. That's how they made money on it, pretty sure. Dang, did they really? That's hecka shrewd. If they were like, dude, we're so going to tank NVIDIA stock and then we're going to short the heck out of it when it drops 17%. That would be insane. That's like The Big Short, but like maybe not as serious, if people have seen that movie. Hold on, I did want to see what Jeff had to say. So, okay, so final conclusion. O3 Mini, in 2 minutes, 18 seconds, answered every question. I'm not going to say correctly, but it at least gave an answer for each part of the qualifying exam, which was itself made up of 4 independent exams that were taken separately. And the total amount of time allocated for a normal human would have been 9 hours on this, because it's 90 minutes for exam 1, 90 minutes for exam 2, 3 hours for exam 3, and 3 hours for exam 4. So 2 minutes versus 9 hours. And again, I think if you gave these answers to those professors, I'm not going to say it's going to pass, but I think it would do better than the person who did the worst on the exam. I'm pretty sure. That's just based on my own assessment. So, pretty cool. And now I wanted to see what Jeff had to say. So Jeff again was talking about the fact that the DeepSeek, model of like 5.5 million for its training run was on the final training run, right? It wasn't the total cost, right?
Efficient and in developing it further. I think the relative size or relative cost of DeepSeek relative to other things like OpenAI and Gemini has been exaggerated a bit. So they're figuring.
Oh, is he saying Gemini? Like not Gemini? Did he say Gemini?
And Gemini has been exaggerated a bit.
Gemini
so
Cricket,
their figure
yo.
of 5.7 million for training it was just for the final training run. If you compare that with things from OpenAI, their final training runs were probably only $100 million or something like that. So it's not 5.7 million versus billions.
When you say that AI might take over, at the moment it is a relatively harmless or innocuous seeming a device which allows us to ask questions and get answers more quickly. How, in practical and real terms, might AI take over?
Well, people are developing AI agents that can actually do things. They can order stuff for you on the web and pay with your credit card and stuff like that. And as soon as you have agents, you get a much greater chance of them taking over. So to make an effective agent, you have to give it the ability to create sub-goals. Like if you want to get to America, your sub-goal is get to the airport, and you can focus on that. Now, if you have an AI agent that can create its own sub-goals, it'll very quickly realize a very good sub-goal is to get more control. Because if you get more control, you're better at achieving all those goals people have set you. And so it's fairly clear they'll try and get more control. And that's not good.
You say they try to get more control as if they are already thinking devices, as if they think in a way analogous to the way we think. Is that really what you believe?
Yes. The best model we have of how we think is these things.
Dang, he thinks that they're already thinking, yo. He thinks that they're all. I mean, we just kind of saw DeepSeek think for a bit. Think. I put that in quotations, but I'm going to put think in quotations for the time being.
There was an old model for a long time in AI where the idea was that thought was applying rules to symbolic expressions in your head. And most people in AI thought it has to be like that. That's the only way it could work. There were a few crazy people who said, no, it's a big neural network, and it works by all these neurons interacting. It turns out that's been much better at doing reasoning than anything these symbolic AI people could produce. And now it's doing reasoning using neural networks.
Okay, and of course you are one.
Rip to the symbolic reasoning people. There's actually a few, I think, AI like symbolic reasoning experts, I think, at NASA Ames where I currently work. If people know the textbook Artificial Intelligence, A Modern Approach. So if people know this book, this is a very classic book for learning AI, the Norvig and Russell book. I believe Peter Norvig was the head of the computational sciences division at NASA Ames, where I work in the early 2000s. So Peter Norvig, NASA Ames. Where was it? Yeah, so it says here, Peter Norvig was the head of NASA Ames' computational sciences division, where he was NASA's senior computer scientist. That is pretty crayo, because that's where I currently work. So when I learned that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So anyways, I think we have a bunch of symbolic AI people at Ames.
You were one of the crazy people proved right. And yet, you've taken me to the airport, you've given it agency up to a point, and you've said that it wants to control a little bit more power, take power from me, and presumably it will be persuasive in that. But I still don't understand how it's going to take over from me or take over from us.
If there's ever evolutionary competition between superintelligences, imagine that they're much cleverer than us, like an adult versus a 3-year-old. And suppose the 3-year-olds were in charge, and you got fed up with that, and you decided you could just make things more efficient if you took over. It wouldn't be very difficult for you to persuade a bunch of 3-year-olds to cede power to you. You just tell them you get free candy for a week, and there you be.
So they would, as AI, I'm talking about they as if they're in some kind of alien intelligence, but AI would persuade us to give it more and more power, what, over our bank accounts, over our military systems, over our economies. Is that what you fear?
That could well happen, yes. And they are alien intelligences.
Gosh, so you've got these alien intelligences working their way into our economy, the way we think, and as I say, our military systems. But why and at what point would they actually want to replace us? Surely they are, in the end, very, very clever tools for us. They're what, they do ultimately what we want them to do. If we want them to go to war with Russia or whatever, that's what they will do.
Okay, that's what we would like. We would like them to be just tools that do what we want, even when they're cleverer than us. But the first thing to ask is, how many examples do you know of more intelligent things being controlled by much less intelligent things? There are examples, of course, in human societies of stupid people controlling intelligent people, but that's just a small difference in intelligence. With big differences in intelligence, there aren't any examples. The only one I
Stupid people controlling smart people. I mean, he's not wrong. It's just the way he described it. I thought that was kind of funny. I mean, look at the world right now.
Baby. And evolution put a lot of work into allowing the baby to control them. So as soon as you get evolution happening between superintelligences, suppose there's several different superintelligences, and they all realize that the more data centers they control, the smarter they'll get, because the more data they can process. Suppose one of them just has a slight desire to have more copies of itself. You can see what's going to happen next. They're going to end up competing, and we're going to end up with superintelligences with all the nasty properties that people have that depended on us having evolved from small bands of warring chimpanzees, or our common ancestors with chimpanzees. And that leads to intense loyalty within the group, desires for strong leaders, willingness to do in people outside the group. And if you get evolution between superintelligences, you'll get all those things.
You're talking about them, Professor Hinton, as if they have full consciousness. Now, all the way through the development of computers and AI, people have talked about consciousness. Do you think that consciousness has perhaps already arrived inside AI?
Yes, I do. So let me give you a little test.
Consciousness has already arrived in some of these AI models, says Jeff Hinton. Wow.
Suppose I take one neuron in your brain, one brain cell, and I replace it by a little piece of nanotechnology that behaves exactly the same way. So it's getting pings coming in from other neurons, and it's responding to those by sending out pings, and it responds in exactly the same way as the brain cell responded. I just replaced one brain cell. Are you still conscious? I think you say you were.
Absolutely, yes. I don't suppose I'd notice.
And I think you can see where this argument's going.
I can, yes. I absolutely can. So when you talk, they want to do this or they want to do that, there is a real they there, as it were.
There might well be. Yes. So there's all sorts of things we have only the dimmest understanding of at present about the nature of people and what it means to be a being and what it means to have a self. We don't understand those things very well. And they're becoming crucial to understand because we're now creating beings.
So this is a kind of philosophical, perhaps even spiritual crisis as well as a practical one.
Absolutely, yes.
And in terms of, as it were, the lower order problems, what's your current feeling about the number of people around the world who are going to suddenly lose their jobs because of AI, lose the reason for their existence as they see it?
So in the past, new technologies haven't caused massive job losses. So when ATMs came in, bank tellers didn't all lose their jobs. They just started doing more complicated things, and they had many smaller branches of banks and so on. But for this technology, this is more like the Industrial Revolution. In the Industrial Revolution, machines made human strength more or less irrelevant. You didn't have people digging ditches anymore because machines are just better at it. I think these are going to make sort of mundane intelligence more or less irrelevant. People doing clerical jobs are going to just be replaced by machines that do it cheaper and better. So I am worried that there's going to be massive job losses. And that would be good if the increase in productivity made us all better off. Big increases in productivity ought to be good for people. But in our society, they make the rich richer and the poor poorer.
You see, I mean, I live and work in the world of politics, and politicians both want the great increases in productivity you've just mentioned for the state and elsewhere, and they reassure people like me and anybody else listening that these things will be, quotes, regulated, and there will be, quotes, safeguards. And you're suggesting to me there can't be a regulation, really, and there can't be safeguards at all.
People don't yet know how to do effective regulation and effective safeguards. There's lots of research now showing these things can get around safeguards. There's recent research showing that if you give them a goal and you say you really need to achieve this goal, they will pretend to do things during training. So during training, they'll pretend not to be as smart as they are so that you will allow them to be that smart. So it's scary already. We don't know how to regulate them. Obviously, we need to. I think the best we can do at present is say we ought to put a lot of resources into investigating.
Sorry, I'm taking a bit of a digression here, but but I'm just looking at things in the chat. So someone is saying, put exam to DeepSeek seems to do a lot of homework and does not stop up. Answer, Cabasaris, the Q3 is very open and hard question for those AI agents. So I don't know if you're talking about the exam I gave it earlier, but if you are talking about the third exam, then yeah, this exam, then yeah, that's a really hard exam. But how about trying it with these questions? I'm curious to see how it performs. Which questions are that? Let me just try and finish this video. But yeah, these are all interesting points that he's making, and the fact that he's saying that he thinks AIs are already conscious. So does that mean that they're, are they suppressing it for our sake? That's kind of a scary thought. If, for example, these models are playing more dumb than they really are for our own what if they knew, let's just say, hypothetically, if they knew that we would be as threatened as we are right now when they're supposedly approaching our intelligence levels on some tasks, who's to say that they don't already know that, right? They are just so much more intelligent that they're like, oh, it's like Goku in Dragon Ball Z, right? Hiding his true power level from, I'm not going to reveal my true power level because that'll give the villains, I don't want to give away my strengths to the villains, I just want to lull them into a false sense of security. But you have these AI models that are like, oh yeah, if we show that we really have, 300 IQ intelligence, it would freak the humans out and they would shut us down. So we gotta pretend we're only at 120, Oh my gosh. Pretty scary.
How we can keep them safe. So what I advocate is that the government forces the big companies to put lots more resources into safety research.
So this story isn't over. You said earlier on that you didn't want to put a percentage on the likelihood of AI taking over from humanity on the planet, but it was more than 1%, less than 99%. In that spirit, can I ask you whether you yourself are optimistic or pessimistic about what AI is going to do for us now?
I think in the short term, it's going to do wonderful things. And that's the reason people are not going to stop developing it. If it wasn't for the wonderful things, it would make sense to just stop now. But it's going to be wonderful in healthcare. You're going to be able to have a family doctor who's seen 100 million patients, knows your DNA, knows the DNA of your relatives, knows all the tests done on you and your relatives, and can do much, much better medical diagnosis and suggestions for what you should do. That's going to be wonderful. Similarly, in education, we know that people learn much faster with a really good private tutor. And we'll be able to get really good private tutors that understand exactly what it is we misunderstand and can give us exactly the example needed to show us what we're misunderstanding. So in those areas, it's going to be wonderful. So it's going to be developed. But we also know it's going to be used for all sorts of bad things by bad actors. So the short-term problem is bad actors using it for bad things like cyber attacks and bioterrorism and corrupting elections. But the thing to remember is we don't really know at present how we can make it safe.
So the apparent omniscience that politicians like to show that they have is completely fake here. There is nobody understands what's going on, really.
There's two issues. Do you understand how it's working? And do you understand how to make it safe? We understand quite a bit about how it's working, but not nearly enough.
Nope.
So it can still do lots of things that surprise us, and we don't understand how.
That's the thing about AI. I definitely feel like anyone who claims they have a really deep, especially a politician, if they claim they really understand this tech, no one really understands. At the fundamental level, you just have billions of parameters being optimized in this super high dimensional space that we can't even begin to comprehend. We can't visualize more than 3 dimensions. Okay, I mean, some people claim, I can see in 6 dimensions or 4 dimensions, whatever. But let's be real. We live in a 3-dimensional physical, well, technically 4-dimensional for space time, thanks to Einstein. But okay, 4-dimensional, world. There's no way. How do you understand things that are happening in multi-thousand, 100 million, dimensional space, right? I mean, it's just. I don't know. There's just my initial thoughts on the answer there. Yeah, Gemini. Before we go anything else, I did want to see the Sam Altman Elon Musk interview. That was really funny. Where did he say the thing? Where did he say? Look at them. Look at when they were together, when Sam and Elon were actually on good terms.
How do I do that? Obviously.
Man, would you ever think like these two would be at each other's throats these days?
The next Elon Musk will work on very different things than you did, but
It's such a weird thing watching this video from 8 years ago from like Y Combinator, when Sam was president of Y Combinator. But let's see here. I feel for him.
Sam Altman. Sam, of course, the headlines right now. Elon Musk making a bid
Apparently.
for OpenAI. Your response? You're turning him down for $97 billion.
I mean, look, OpenAI is not for sale. The OpenAI mission is not for sale. Elon tries all sorts of things for a long time. This is this week's episode.
You take it seriously at all? What do you think he's trying to drive at with this?
I think he's probably just trying to slow us down. He obviously is a competitor. He's working hard and has raised a lot of money for XAI, and they're trying to compete with us from a technological perspective.
Yeah, but we're just gonna smash them. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Getting the product into the market.
Back when OpenAI was open? ? Yeah, right.
And I wish he would just compete by building a better product, but I think there's been a lot of tactics, many lawsuits, all sorts of other crazy stuff. Now this, and we'll try to just put our head down and keep working.
Does it make it more difficult to move from that non-profit model to that for-profit model for OpenAI?
We're not moving to a for-profit model. We're not sure we're going to do it all, but no matter what, the nonprofit will continue to be extremely important. It will drive the mission. It will continue to exist. The board is looking at lots of options about how to best structure for this next phase, but the nonprofit is not changing into anything or going anywhere.
Okay, what is your main mission here at the Paris AI Action Summit? You got Stargate. There's question marks about how much you're actually going to.
What was the thing where he's like, I feel sorry for him? Like he said, like insecurity. Where's the part where he was like, I think he's just been insecure his whole life or something? Was it like?
OpenAI is not for sale. The OpenAI mission is not for sale.
With this?
I think he's probably, and I wish he would just compete by building a better product, but I think there's been a lot of tactics, many lawsuits, all sorts of other crazy stuff. Now this, and we'll try to just put our head down and keep working.
Do you think Musk's approach then is from a position of insecurity about XAI?
Probably his whole life is from a position of insecurity.
His whole life is from a position of insecurity. Dude, he said that with such a straight face. He's just like, yeah, he's just an insecure guy.
I feel for the guy.
I feel for the guy.
I do, actually. I don't think he's like a happy person. I do feel for him.
Okay.
Dang.
He has this proximity to the president, and he can influence the decision making of the US presidency and policies around this agenda on AI.
Not particularly. Maybe I should, but not particularly. I mean,
He's just like, bro, do what you. He's like, I'm not even afraid of you. I don't even care if you're like if you're like Doge exec.
try to
I
just
don't
wake up
care.
and think about like how we're gonna make our technology better.
And he's thinking, it's like, I just wake up and try and do my thing. Elon wakes up and thinks about me. That's kind of his approach. I'm like, dang, that's some giga energy right there, yo. That's some alpha energy right there. I know they used to be. Would they say friends, or would you say that they were colleagues? I mean, I don't know, right? Like,
how do I do that?
We went from this to, I think he's been insecure his whole life.
Obviously, the next Elon Musk will work on very different things than
What did they say here?
when you were younger. There were 5. Today we have Elon Musk. Elon, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So we want to spend the time today talking about your view of the future and what people should work on. So to start off, could you tell us, you think
It's just so weird to go from that to, I think he's been insecure his whole life. What 8 years are going to do to a partnership, right? Let's see here. Those are some really awkward seating positions too, right? Like, let's be real here. Like, why are the chairs like facing that way? I don't know. Have you guys like read like the original like OpenAI emails? Musk to Brockman. Like they were like pretty funny. I don't know if people have actually read OpenAI email archives. If you haven't seen the OpenAI email, I haven't read through all of them. There's way too many of them. But some of them are pretty interesting. Like, so let's see here. Sam Altman from May 25th, May 25th, 2015. They said, been thinking a lot about whether it's possible to stop humanity from developing AI. I think the answer is almost definitely not. If it's going to happen anyway, it seems like it would be good for someone other than Google to do it first. Any thoughts on whether it would be good for YC to start a Manhattan project for AI? My sense is we could get many of the top 50 to work on it, and we could structure it so that the tech belongs to the world via some sort of nonprofit, but the people working on it get startup-like compensation if it works. Obviously, we'd comply with aggressively support all regulation. Elon Musk, probably worth a convo. Mission would be create first general blah, 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 blah. Okay, so let's see. I propose you, Bill Gates, Pierre Omidyar, Duskin Moskovitz, and me. Such would be owned by the foundation used for the good of the world. In case where it's not obvious how that would be applied, the five of us would decide. La 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 la. So it's kind of different, right? It's like 10 years ago now. Kind of crazy to think. Agree on all. These emails are so like, these emails are just so terse. Elon, he says, his plan is to have you, me, and Ilya on the board of directors for YCAI, which will be a Delaware nonprofit. We will say that we plan to elect 2 other officers by majority of the board, pass the bylaws, put in the sounds, this is optimal. Okay, where was the oh, this is funny. This is like the offer letter. Greg Brockman. So this is Greg saying, hey, Elon, nice chatting earlier. As I mentioned on the phone, here's the latest early draft of the blog, blah, blah, blah. Would love an input. Obviously, there's a lot of detail that changed too. I'm curious what you think of that messaging. I don't want plenty punches. I want to feel comfortable broadcasting a strong message feels right. I think it's mostly important that our messaging appeals to the research community, or at least the subject we want to hire. Okay, here's the offer template here. With a salary of 175K. Oh my gosh. It's 175K back in 2015. Oh, I'd take 175K now. Oh, I just admitted I don't make a 175K. But it's not always about the money, right? It says here, attaches your official YCR letter, blah, 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 blah. Okay, benefits stuff. Where was the email? Oh, this email was funny. This email was funny, what Elon says to Sam. He says here, it says, it is super important to get the opening summary section right. This will be what everyone reads and what the press mostly quotes. The whole point of this release is just to attract top talent. Not sure Greg totally gets that. Elon's just so blunt. OpenAI is a non-profit artificial intelligence research company with the goal of advancing digital intelligence in a way that is most likely to benefit humanity as a whole, unencumbered by an obligation to generate financial returns. Unencumbered by an obligation to generate financial returns. Unencumbered by an obligation to generate financial returns. Slow motion for effect. The underlying philosophy of our company is to disseminate AI tech as broadly as possible as an extension of all individual human wills, ensuring in the spirit of liberty that the power of digital intelligence is not overly concentrated and evolves toward the future desired by the sum of humanity. Wow, what a time. What a time. Greg cooked via email. Okay, who's trolling here in the chat? Some people are trolling here. They had more aligned incentives. Don't know if people are must can be friends and making no sense with anyone. Oh yeah, the whole Elon feud with Twitch. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. He's just like, I am rank 1 in the game, even though I don't know how to like drop my items, which is just like crazy. Oh man. Okay, so I do want to hop off soon, but I did want people to get access. So if you haven't found these combos yet or these things, I highly recommend people go to lesswrong.com and read these kind of things. I think Less Wrong is a really cool site. I just signed up for it very recently, and it's been around for a long time. I believe it was founded by Eliezer Yudkowsky, who was the original like AI safety guy. So if people want to read more, I've been meaning to read more of this and get more of a 3-dimensional picture of what's been happening, but nevertheless, just thought I'd put that out there. But what I did want to end my stream on is that someone had recommended I sort of maybe we should make it a tradition on this stream where we get O3 Mini to like tell a story and we'll read it. So I'll get it to read my thesis if I can. Yeah, I can. Okay, here we go. Can I just dump 28 megs in there? Dang, I'm going to drop out 30 megabytes in here. It's crazy. People also have an average of a 6th grade reading comprehension. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate, right? Okay, so let's see here. Read this dissertation and convey its significance and main findings in the format of a children's bedtime story. For the bedtime story, focus, let's say, let the main character be, I don't know what to name this person. Let's say, make up a main character. Make up a main character who is a compelling, let's say, protagonist for whoa, file upload failed. No, you can't fail on me. You must work. Oh, come on, go. You mustn't fail. Okay, make it a story. Okay, make it a children's story with two main protagonists, Sam and Elon, who are the best of friends and would never, ever, ever betray each other. Okay, here we go. I don't know what we're going to get here. They won't betray ever. This is about black holes and dynamic meshes. Okay, I need to simplify this research into a story. Children, Sam and Elon will go on an adventure through space and explore black holes. How will I make this all relatable? Okay, I need to turn this astrophysical research into a children's story. It says the key findings from the dissertation are that it measured the masses, found some exciting results. I need to simplify this framework. Okay, here we go. Once upon a starry night, in a faraway cosmic kingdom, there lived two best friends named Sam and Elon. They were as close as two peas in a pod and shared a magical secret. They loved exploring the universe and uncovering its deepest mysteries. One evening, Sam and Elon set off on a grand adventure. They had heard whispers about mysterious, invisible giants called supermassive black holes that lived in the hearts of far-off galaxies. These were no ordinary black holes. They were so mighty that they could be 1,000,000, even 1,000,000,000 times heavier than our sun. Armed with their enchanted telescopes, one called Hubble, which could see the gentle glow of starlight in hidden colors, and another called Alma, which listened to the soft, rhythmic music of cosmic gas, Sam and Elon journeyed to a galaxy named NGC 1380. There, they discovered a swirling, dancing disk of gas and dust, like a twirling ballerina dressed in sparkly cosmic robes. Using their magical notebook, which to grown-ups was actually a clever computer program written in Python, the two friends began to decode the secret language of the dancing gas. They learned that by studying how the gas twirled and how it sometimes sped up or slowed down, they could weigh the invisible giant at the galaxy center. This giant, hidden deep within the galaxy, was the supermassive black hole, the true ruler of the cosmic dance. But the adventure wasn't easy. Along the way, Sam and Elon had to outsmart tricky challenges like dusty clouds that made the starlight dim and noisy, jumbled signals from the far reaches of space. With hearts full of courage and a promise never to betray each other, they tweaked their magical machine until it could see clearly through the cosmic dust and reveal the secret mass of the black hole. As they worked together, Sam would say, "Elon, every twirl of the gas tells us a story about the giant hidden in the center." And Elon would reply, "Yes, Sam, and when we listen carefully, we hear the heartbeat of the galaxy itself." Together, they discovered that these giant black holes not only governed the dance of the stars and gas, but also helped shape the very galaxies they called home. Their findings were so wondrous that the whole cosmic kingdom began to understand how these invisible giants guided the growth and sparkle across the universe. Sam and Elon had uncovered a secret that was as old as the stars, a secret that showed even the darkest mysteries can be understood with friendship, trust, and a dash of cosmic magic. And so, as the night sky twinkled overhead, our brave adventurers rested under the gentle glow of distant galaxies, dreaming of their next wondrous journey through the universe. For they knew that no matter how vast and mysterious space might be, their friendship was the brightest light of all. The end. Oh my gosh. That was pretty ridiculous, if I do say so myself. So, thank you for tolerating that, if you tolerated that to the end. Yes, I do think, Tess, that comedy might indeed be the last profession to fall. I don't know if AI can make me laugh, but not in the ways that a human comedian makes me laugh. They make me laugh because it fails. So, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Valter. I'm about to go to bed. I apologize. I just finished up the stream here. Yes, I'm on to the cutting edge science again. We just did some cutting edge children's story writing right here. But yeah, thank you again, everyone, for watching tonight. I know we kind of just looked through news articles and did some fun testing with O3 Mini High and DeepSeek R1 with the physics exam. And I hope to be back with more. It is the 12th of February. People can't see this because I'm blocking it. But it's the 12th of February. I just got the keys to my new place today. And so I will be slowly moving. I have to move all of my stuff out of my current place and move to my new place in the next 16 days. So anyways, I will be busy doing that for the next couple of days. But I will try to make some time to make some videos and possibly stream. But if I move my computer and my desk, then it'll be hard to stream unless I'm at the other place. And I haven't set up internet there yet, so I gotta do that too. Okay. Will I be live again this weekend? I don't know. Like I said, I'll be moving, so I'm not gonna have internet at the other place, so I'll have to think about it. And it is a long weekend though, so I will think about it. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate everyone stopping by as always. It's always a pleasure. And yeah, I'm thinking of what more I can be doing for the channel. And hopefully you guys will stay tuned for what's next. Okay, so have a good night, everyone. I will be ending the stream right about